Dear friends, welcome to this week's edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read through Parshat Behalotchah. And like every Parsha in the Torah, there are so many beautiful, rich Torah ideas, especially in the Hasidic world. But I just want to focus on one pasuk, one verse. This is in Bamidbar chapter 11, verse 5. It says in Hebrew, Zachreni es hadaga asher nachal b'mitzrayim chinam. The Jewish people were complaining. And they said, we remember the fish that we ate in Egypt for free. And now we're just getting this mun stuff. We miss the fish that we got to eat in Egypt for free. The question is, what does this mean? You know, they were slaves. They were slaves in Egypt. Now they're complaining. Now they're getting mun literally rained down from heaven, and they're complaining. What does this mean? What is the deeper idea of what's going on over here? So the great Reb Joseph Ber Soloveitchik says something really nice. He says that what they really were complaining about was not the fish. What they really were complaining about is that when they were slaves, they were free from making moral choices. They didn't have a covenant to live up to. They didn't have expectation. They just were supposed to do what they were forced to do, and that's it. They didn't have moral dilemmas. They didn't have ethical dilemmas. It was just doing whatever the Egyptians told them to do. But now they had the freedom, and with freedom comes a lot of responsibility. With freedom comes, now you have to make moral choices. Now you have a covenant that you have to live up to. And that was what they were afraid of. You know, so often in life, we have freedoms, but in some ways, sometimes we're slaves. I've spoken about this before. Sometimes we can be slave to technology. Sometimes we can be slave to an addiction. Sometimes we can just be a slave to social media, whatever it might be. But there's another type of slavery too, and that is to just go with the flow of everyone around you and not really making moral, ethical choices on your own. Sometimes it comes up in religion, sometimes it comes up in politics. Oh, everyone around me is doing this and feeling this way, so therefore I must also feel the same way. That's not real true freedom. Real true freedom means being able to make moral decisions on your own. You don't have to just do what everyone else around you is doing. You don't have to be a slave to what everyone else is thinking and doing. You can be free. You can make your own choices. You can make your own moral and ethical choices. This is the power of freedom. And again, sometimes it's scary for people, but when someone reaches that freedom and starts to make those choices, then they are truly free. I always like to end with a bracha, a blessing. Experience the real taste of freedom. I give everyone the bracha, the blessing, to experience what real freedom is. Freedom not just meaning that we don't have a taskmaster over us, but freedom sometimes to know that we can make moral choices in our lives. We can take on that mantle of responsibility and we can be successful in what we do. We can make those choices. We don't have to be a slave to the people around us. We can choose on our own. Wishing everyone here a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh, and thank you so much for listening.